Good day, good day, good day, fellow Southern Cameroonians, Ambazonians. Today is Monday, January the 19th, 2026. I am coming out this morning as Ambazonian State Army National Spokesperson coming live this morning. I will send special to the Valvasegon salute to all our brave Ambazonian state armies that are fighting so hard to defend our national territory from the hands of this Babylonian, Paul Biya, Hitler, Bill Vondo, Bartholomew, the terrorists sponsored by France and some other criminal Western nations. Fellow Ambazonians, today is our Monday Ghost Town that stands for a symbol for our liberation struggle. We must respect our Monday Ghost Town, stay at home and stay safe. The war in Ambazonia is a war declared on us by French Cameroon occupational forces through their puppet, Paul Biya, Bill Vondo, Bartholomew, the terrorists. Fellow Ambazonians, I am coming out this morning to make it clear to all Ambazonians that we have to copy from example. The war declared on us by French Cameroon is a war that has been fought years by our forefathers. Southern Cameroon was not conquered through guns and bullets. We came together as two equals. Our forefathers acted with great sentiment of brotherhood to come together with French Cameroon equal in status. I want to send this message to all Southern Cameroonians, likewise French Cameroon citizens, international community, that Southern Cameroon Ambazonia is here to stay. Our independence is defined. Our independence is not an illusion. It's well documented according to Resolution 1608. Southern Cameroon was voted at the UN General Assembly on the 21st of April to take effect on the 1st of October 1961. So Southern Cameroon, Ambazonia, we have the fundamental right to fight for our independence. So our independence is not an illusion, it's a reality. I want to remind international community, African Union, the American government, and international global organizations that the war in Southern Cameroon is a war that has been declared on us based on wickedness that France invaded French Cameroon and gave them independence in 1960. And when French Cameroon, through their legitimate leaders like Ernest Wangi and so many leaders, declare that they want their full independence from France, the same French agents declare war on the people of French Cameroon, and the war of Maquisard was declared. And so many French Cameroon citizens, their chiefs, their funds were killed and their heads were chopped off because they demanded for their full independence in 1960. By then, Southern Cameroon's Ambazonia was not part of French Cameroon. How do we get there? How this Southern Cameroon, French Cameroon, suddenly become a territory as claimed by French Cameroon? It is clearly defined that French Cameroon gained her independence on the 1st of January 1960 as a separate state, and Southern Cameroon was a Category B territory under United Nations, a trusteeship trusted through to the United Kingdom, Britain, as a separate entity. Fellow Ambazonians, history will never be forgotten. I want to remind us Ambazonians, I want to remind us, all the freedom fighters, that we are fighting today. We are now at the era of guns. We are at the era of battles. We are at the era that French Cameroon have decided to kill our people based on truth. So the war, I repeat, is not an illusion. The war in Saudi Cameroon is based on our historical fact that we must stand by it to defend the interests of our community, defend the interests of Ambazonia, defend our resources, and protect the future of our unborn generation. Saudi Cameroon was a state that gained independence, voted at the UN General Assembly on the 21st of April 1961 to take effect on the 1st of October 1961. I want to ask this question: what happened there? What went wrong? What happened that Saudi Cameroon have to pay with their blood for what belongs to them? It was an international conspiracy between France, Britain, United Kingdom to keep Saudi Cameroon in slavery when other countries like Lesotho, Botswana, Equatorial Guinea, Togo, which are much smaller than Saudi Cameroon, gained their full independence. What happened to the state of Southern Cameroon? That is the question. We must fight to liberate our people. We must fight to defend the interests of Ambazonians. We must fight to protect our identity as confessed by this criminal Paul Biya Bill Fondo Bartholomew at the Muibai conference in France. I quote, Paul Biya confesses that we have tried to assimilate, to integrate the state of Southern Cameroon into our 80% populated French Cameroon Republic. It has not happened because of what? Our identity. Paul Biya himself confesses in France that we are different in identity, but we are all Africans. Fellow Ambazonians, I want to quote these examples. Today, French Cameroon President-elect Issa Chiruma Bakari is now in Gambia. We can use Gambia as a good illustration to define the war in Ambazonia. We all remember that Senegal and Gambia were once one single state that came together based on what? Brotherhood. But when Senegal and Gambia did themselves examine their culture, identity, that they can't function together because the French system and English system is difficult to function, they quietly separated, and Gambia went his way and Senegal went his way, and they are living as good neighbors. Now they are hosting Issa Chiruma Bakari, the French president-elect. I want to ask this question: if Gambia did not respect the status quo as two equal states that have to separate based on their culture, where could have been Issa Chiruma today? The Gambia illustrated and demonstrated the strength of democracy when Adamu Barrow won the election in Gambia and Yaya Jammeh refused to hand power, and ECOWAS intervened, and the power was being handed to who? To the president now on seat, Yaya Jammeh, that have hosted the French Cameroon elected president Issa Chiruma. I want to make it clear that Southern Cameroon will never give French Cameroon any second chance. If the people of Gambia and Senegal can reason together and separated because of their culture and identity and live as equal neighbors so that peace will reign, then the blood of Ambazonia that will be split by this criminal regime in Yaoundé will never go in vain. We have to learn from our neighbors. We have to learn from Africa, from other African countries. The state of Somaliland have been recognized by Ethiopia, Israel, and other countries because Somaliland was not part of Somalia. It was a state, and they came together as two equals. But they fought for 31 years until they get tired. And Somaliland has to create his own administrative order, his own money, his own board of directors, executive order, build Somaliland. And now it has been recognized by international community. Fellow Southern Cameroonians, fellow Ambazonians, this war of independence is not an illusion. It is the war of fact. So whosoever that is dreaming that Saudi Cameroon will give French Cameroon any second chance, then you are wasting your time. Ambazonia must be free. It's our fundamental birthright as Southern Cameroonians. I've repeated on so many occasions that we are not British citizens, but we gain the British system of governance from the colonizers that colonized Southern Cameroons. But as long as our freedom, our life, our businesses, our resources, as the people of Southern Cameroons, Ambazonia, we are demanding for total recognition of our independence as voted at the UN General Assembly. Saudi Cameroon was a state with democratic elected presidents, prime ministers, I beg your pardon, from E.M. Mindeli to Jongu Foncha to Augustine Gomjoa. Saudi Cameroon was the first state to maintain and practice democracy in Africa. That powers change hands without any bloodshed. Before the Fumban conference, there was a war between French Cameroon citizens that demanded for their total independence from France. And more than 1,000 French troops were sent to massacre those who demand for their full independence. It was so unfortunate that Southern Cameroonians, our forefathers, did not see this coming. But we have decided in this generation that Southern Cameroons must be liberated. No matter what is happening in the battlefield, that terrorists and private militia sponsored by French Cameroon has infiltrated the war and killing Ambazonians in cold blood. But we must watch out in our community, our county, our LGAs, that we have to protect our local community against these invaders. Fellow Ambazonians, Southern Cameroon is a state and must be a state. We must fight for our recognition. Nobody will come to rescue us. We must work in close collaboration, stand behind each other, protect our interests, fight to defend our land. We are not the first, or no, we are not the last. Our independence is non-negotiable, either freedom or nothing else. Respect our Monday ghost towns. Respect the rule of the war. Defend your neighborhood. Defend your county. Defend your community. Defend your brothers and sisters. Work in close collaboration with Ambazonia state armies. At the end of the day, no blood of Ambazonia will go in vain. The highest price to pay is blood, and we have paid the price. Our independence is non-negotiable. Long live the state of Ambazonia, and short live the war.